Hello everybody, today we're going to be reviewing the 70-200 f4L USM by Canon. And this lens belongs to my friend, so I don't really think I can break this. Now we're in the middle of nowhere, basically heliport and some grass fields, and we're going to be shooting pictures with this lens and also this camera. The camera is basically a 600D and it has a crop sensor, so it basically multiplies and gives the 70-200 a little bit boost, so it shows that it's better for wildlife since you can get closer without a teleconverter, or you can use this for portraiture, because mostly people use 70-200 for their portraiture. Now, not only reviewing this lens, but we're also gonna be comparing this lens to the Tamron 70-200 2.8, because they're basically the same price, and Tamron allows you to have the 2.8. So we're just gonna see what is the difference in case of the sharpness, colors, and so on. So basically, this lens costs the same as the Tamron 2.8. It's a little bit more expensive. So does it actually bring more stuff than the Tamron? We're gonna see. So first we're gonna shoot probably like from here. We're gonna shoot at the building itself, and then we're just gonna see the sharpness and so on. So just took a picture of that tower right there. As you can see, with the 100% crop, you can see how sharp it is at f4. And even though, it's not that bright, but you can see how sharp it is right there. And what else we're gonna talk about? Since this lens doesn't have any image stabilization, that means we're gonna be careful with the shutter speed and so on. The thing about this lens and that lens is that they both don't have IS, and so that's a bad thing. But then if you want to buy the IS version, you have to pay a little bit more to get it. So that's the thing, it's up to you. But because of the USM in this lens, it focuses pretty fast, so from moving one place to another place, the focus is really quick and really quiet, as you can hear. You can't really hear the focusing because it's really quiet because of the USM, if you know Canon lenses. This lens focuses at 1.2 meter or less than 4 feet. And basically that means if I stand right here in front of the cameraman and shoot, if I stand right here, it's basically roughly about 50 centimeters. You can't really focus since it's all blurred out. But if I move back, it takes a shot. As you can see, it focuses really well. So you have to basically stand a little bit further to get the shot. But for Tamron, as I'll show you later on, you can actually focus a little bit closer to the subject. Probably a few centimeters or so, because that focuses at 97 centimeters, I think. But yeah, pretty much the less there. We have to stand further back because it's from 70 to 200. And now here's the Tamron 70-200 2.8, and after mounting this, it feels a lot heavier than the Canon one. But yeah, and it's obviously a lot bigger. I'm going to show you. If you can see the size comparison between it, Tamron's actually bigger, and the front, the filter size is bigger as well. So we're going to take some test shot out of this using the similar settings. Since it's at 2.8, we're going to drop it down to f4 so that we can compare the two pictures. Now I'm going to go back to the same position and shoot the same building. As you can see the shot, I can't really see it right now, but I'm pretty sure it's pretty sharp. Yeah, focus is really slow compared to the Canon lens, and it's also pretty noisy, as you can hear from this. That's focusing from one end to another end. That's pretty noisy compared to the USM model. But nevertheless, if you can keep this focused, it's pretty tack sharp. But a few people say that this lens isn't built for sport because it doesn't really focus that fast. If I move from one position to another position, it takes few seconds to focus. That's pretty bad if you're doing sport, since you need focus every single time. So this lens isn't really built for that. But the good thing about this lens, even though it's a bit cheaper, but the good thing about it is that you can drop it down to 2.8, so you can blur out the background even more. That's why this lens is pretty much used for portraiture and wildlife if your animal isn't moving that much. I'm gonna show you a picture. I'm gonna take it standing backwards a bit because it's pretty far. It's at 95 centimeters. And we're gonna see how the background blurs by shooting at 2.8. Now, as you can see, that the background blurs out even more compared to the shot that I took before with the Canon, and that's because the aperture is actually f2.8. So you'll know the depth of field and stuff for this thing. Now, nevertheless, both of the lenses are pretty well made. Both of them are made for different cases. One is built for sport and so on, but this is a lot cheaper. It's built for portraiture and so on. And if you don't really like shooting sports, this is a good lens to go to because you get the 2.8. It's cheaper and it's pretty sharp. Pretty sharp as the Canon lens. But if you want to shoot sports, yeah, just sports and so on, I think you can get the Canon because you focus quicker, much quieter, and sharp as well, but just a little bit expensive. And it doesn't really go down to 2.8. That's the disadvantage of it. But the advantage is that obviously it's an L lens, Canon lens. You would get the most out of it. And I guess that's pretty much it. So this is basically the review of the Canon 70-200 f4L USM, the non-IS version, and also a short review to the Tamron 70-200 2.8.